All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Multiverse Show, episode 59, with the awesomest crew on the planet. Multiverse crew all rolling up. I'm so glad to have just the regular squad here tonight. I'm actually broadcasting from Casa de Anchorman, finally, my own place, which we still got to figure out getting this internet all the way up there, but it's okay just for gaming right now, but not that much. But we're going to work on that. So if I bot out for a little bit, that's what's going on. But real quick, we're going to introduce the cast for the night. No guest, but real quick, the co-host with the co-most, Fame Entertainment.
What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from TICGN.com. Welcome to episode 59 of the Multiverse Show, the absolutely greatest show formerly podcast on a freaking Monday. It is great to have the original cast with us today. We'll get guests back at some point, but we're talking some noise today. And as always, here we go. Yeah, buddy.
And our other co-host for the evening, the man on the gamer score run for charity, Undead.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? Glad to be back on the podcast again. Take a break from grinding achievements on games that aren't even fun.
All right, and our former Soundmaster General, James.
The man, the myth, the legend himself. Hello, it's nice to be back. Sorry I wasn't here last week on the greatest show on Mondays, but things are busy in life. But I'm here, and all is well in the world.
All right, and our other co-host, the newest kid on the block, Mike.
All right, guys, what's up? It's Mike from the Inner Circle, and thank you for joining us for another delightful episode of the Multiverse Show. Yes.
All right, let's get started. But real quick, before we start jumping into the topics, get some people a chance for some people to jump in live with us. James, you saw Baby Driver. What'd you think?
I've seen Baby Driver twice now.
Damn.
I've seen it twice. I saw it earlier today, and I saw it last week on Wednesday. For those who don't know, this is Edgar Wright's new film. He's the director of Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He was supposed to direct Ant-Man, much to everyone's excitement, and then was fired because he wasn't allowed to write the film. Yep, that's what happened. That was the start of the DC taking control of everything that they own. Anyway, but Baby Driver is with Sony, and it's one of the most original and most brilliant films I've seen in a long, long time. It's about a getaway driver called Baby who listens to music to drown out the ringing in his ears from a car accident he had as a child. And so the entire soundtrack of the film is live coming from his ears. And everything happens in the film. Everything happens in time with the music. So a gunshot will happen when a drum snare hits, or when a guitar hits a certain chord. Every tire squeal, everything happens to music. So it's sort of a good comparison would be Point Break meets La La Land. That's a weird. So it is a proper action film with really exciting things and a good love story, and then it's also this really choreographed musical with no singing, but it's just fantastic. Matt Singleton, the other movie reviewer, we both did our top 5 films of the year, and that'll be coming out very soon on TICGN. And we both put it at number 3. It's the only thing that we agree on in our entire list, that we both think Baby Driver is the 3rd best film to come out this year. It's probably my favorite, but it's not the best. But Baby Driver is an absolute must-see. Considering the options you have this week are Despicable Me 3, which is Despicable Me 3. What is more to say? All Eyes on Me, which tries to be good, but it's not straight out of Compton. And those are the real main competition. You could go see The Mummy if you want an exercise in self-torture, or you can go see Baby Driver and have one of the greatest cinematic experiences that you're likely to see this year.
All right. Sounds like fun. All right. So also real quick, just kind of over some housekeeping things as the guys are kind of rolling in. First thing, we're doing Gamer Meetup. It's going to be July 22nd. I'm still in talks, got all the stuff moving on. A lot of moving pieces going on. One of the things that we're still working on is just trying to get the attractions. We're going to be holding this in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's kind of equidistant. You're open to really anybody who wants to come, really kind of more of a regional thing. So if you're from North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Tennessee, or even Georgia, you are welcome to come on down to Greensboro, North Carolina, and we will be rocking it out and doing some fun stuff. First, I know we have 2 plans. The first one, if everything goes according to my master plan. One of the things we're going to be doing is doing a tour with Insomniac. The Insomniac Studios is about like 45 minutes away from Greensboro. I've been talking with them, trying to get them, see if they'll be able to do a quick little tour for us on that day. Then head over to the Microsoft Store, do maybe a LAN party or something like that, and then go to one of Cliff Blazinski's 2 restaurants and have dinner that night. So, and if all that falls through, I know a couple cool bar arcades in town where it's just total fun. Anyway, guys, that's kind of the general gist we're working with. Also, another announcement, actually in 2 weeks' time, on July 17th, we are doing another interview here on the Multiverse with Giant Sparrow, the creators of Unfinished Swan and the Edith Finch miniseries, and other great games to come. So I'll be on the lookout for this particular interview. It's going to be fun. We're all playing over our games again, just try to get back in the swing of things. So, topic time. The pièce de résistance, so to speak. Anthem.
Here we go.
All right, so brief recap of what happened with Anthem. Today, Sony posted a video of gameplay, supposed PlayStation 4 Pro gameplay of Anthem. It was basically just the Xbox One gameplay from E3, except somebody noticed on NeoGAF, I believe. I mean, where else would anyone else notice this? That editing of an overlay on top of the button prompts to make them look like PlayStation button prompts. And they posted this on Sony's official promotional YouTube channel, and people have been flipping out. So briefly, I kind of want to get a gist from the crowd here. What are your thoughts about this particular maneuver? I'll start with James.
It's not a video game yet. Can we talk about real things?
All right, Mike.
I think the whole thing is stupid, honestly. I mean, it was a mistake. But at the same time, it's Sony's channel. So even though it may have been EA that edited the video, which is kind of what I gather, it's still on Sony's channel, and Sony is responsible for the content of what goes up on their channel. So I think they were right to take it down.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nick.
I'm pretty much in the same camp as Mike. The only thing that's really messed me up, ticked me off with this whole situation is how people are trying to build mountains out of this. Like it's some big conspiracy theory, like the Illuminati is coming down to like destroy Xbox. And
well, that is true.
Oh God, James. But like, obviously EA probably was in charge of, because usually a publisher's in charge of providing the companies with footage of their game to post on their channels for trailers. So obviously EA was like, yeah, we'll just give them the same footage we used here and we'll just edit over the button lays and no one will know the better. And someone picked up on it because they should know there's people in this community that pause a video every 0.5 seconds to make sure everything lines up. And yeah, so it was a mistake. Sony removed the video, which I think is the right thing to do because it blew up way worse than it should have, but at least they made steps to remove the problem, so to speak.
Yeah. All right, Fame, time for a rant.
Okay, first, number one, somebody has way too much time on their hand. Honestly, you have nothing else better to do. You ain't got no wife, kids, or a game to play to sit here and play and pause and play and pause and play and pause till you find something, till you find a discrepancy. You have no life, whoever you may be that has done this. Number two, it is grossly irresponsible on Sony's part if let's give the benefit of the doubt and let's say EA did the editing, right? Let's say EA did it. Number one, that person, whoever did that, you know, you're the worst Photoshop person of all time. You have every resource in the world to make that look proper, and you didn't. So let's say, for the benefit of the doubt, it was on the EA or BioWare created the overlay, right? It is grossly irresponsible on Sony's part to knowingly know this is the exact same footage that was already confirmed to be running on an Xbox One X, confirmed by Microsoft, BioWare, and Digital Foundry. It is grossly irresponsible to put that gameplay on your channel, giving a ridiculous misrepresentation of what the game will look like on your platform. And to make it worse, in the description, it said PS4, not even PS4 Pro. So you trigger people into thinking that the vanilla PS4 is going to make games look just as good as the Xbox One X. BS.
There's our one F-bomb.
That was one.
It's complete BS. Yes. Did it blow up way out of control? Yes. Did somebody a horrible Photoshop job? Yes. Was Sony negligent? Yes. And they should have took it down because they knew that was not gameplay running on their console. At least put a notation somewhere that says this is running on Xbox One X, which they wouldn't do because you wouldn't give the platform credit. When Microsoft does something like when they had to go back and say, hey, this footage is running on PC, because they had to do it. Otherwise, you're misrepresenting what can actually be done and shown on your platform. Sony was grossly negligent in this act.
I mean, you guys kind of said what I was kind of getting at, but my thing is, I don't care who edited the video. Ultimately, this is such a waste of time. This is a non-issue. This happens all the time. The one that comes to mind immediately is when Witcher 3, I think it was in 2014, and the video up with some like PC gameplay, and people were flipping out, saying like, "That's on PC. It's not on Xbox. You can't make it. You can't claim it looks like that." Everybody's flipping out, and the Microsoft, and even at the bottom of in their video description, they had it say on running on PC, and I think they took down the video too.
The same thing happened with Watch Dogs too. They did the same thing with Watch Dogs, but no one cared when it was Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it was just a waste of time, honestly. Like it's such a non-issue. I mean, this happens all the time. I mean, yeah, you are dependent on the publisher to give you that footage, but I mean, at the end of the day, I look at it as one, a waste of time, and two, it's ultimately Sony's fault. I mean, you said this is clear to go on my channel, and either were the one who did the editing, or the one who decided, I don't care about it, or didn't notice it. All three scenarios, they're bad. They're still your fault. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, if I decide I'm going to let my racist friend, if I had one, take my phone on Twitter. Whatever he says on Twitter, I'm responsible for it. I gave him access to my Twitter. I ultimately let him do it. Even I can come back and apologize later. I mean, Sony's done the right thing. It took down the footage. Right thing, and I think Fabe and I were talking earlier. It's like that's kind of an admission of guilt when you take it down. I mean, I think it's more of an admission of responsibility. That hey, for all the shit that happened, that's me. So I'm gonna make it right, and I think Sony's on the right thing here. But that's the thing that really gets to me is people who are making this such a huge deal.
Mountains
like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. This is something that like, how dare they? How dare they do this? And I think the other one was Aaron Greenberg retweeted something.
Oh God!
Oops! That was hilarious.
I mean, it's a slight little jab, but it's not like, oh, look, we would never do something like that. It's just oops. I mean, we're reading into it way too much. Like, oh, how dare he? How dare he? And it's like he's commenting on something that just happened. So what did you want? Did you want Sony never to respond to anything Microsoft does? Do you want Microsoft never to respond? I mean, just pick one. Just something.
I thought that's what really has the time to
issue to them, and like they're freaking out over people just having fun and a good joke. Like they laugh about it, and it's such a, like I said, it's such a non-issue. But at the same time, it's like, come on, grow up.
People will find an excuse to turn anything into ammunition for the console war.
See, my takeaway of hilarity for this is I don't think it's a big deal. Sony pulled down the footage. People want a full written apology from Sony. Get over it. It's not that big of a deal. Okay? Like most trailers that you see are running on PC. People have this strange idea when you see a game trailer running that's running on your console. Usually it's running on a similarly spec'd PC, like with Metro. That was an Xbox One X footage on Metro. That was a similarly spec'd PC running Metro. And that's the same thing, because what do you think most developers start their base games on? Do you think they just sit there with a dev kit? And no, it starts on a PC. You start coding on a PC. So most of your game trailers, I say most because there are exceptions. The big deal about Anthem was that it was running on the Xbox One X exclusively. And that was the big deal about it. And it was a misstep to show that on the PlayStation channel, and the aspect of there's no guarantee that Anthem is going to run the same way on the PS4 Pro that it is on the Xbox One X. Most likely it will, but there is a potential that, say, the frame rate could be higher on the Xbox One X, or it might not be native 4K, or I can't predict that kind of shenanigans. But everyone's trying to make mountains out of molehills out of this. But the thing is when there was people on social media that said, oh, Sony screwed up, it's no big deal, and people were saying the same stuff that I was, and I was like, this is cool, I agree with these people, I will gladly lump my opinion in with these people. But these are the same people, when Aaron Greenberg tweeted out, oops, they're like, oh, wow, how could he be so immature about it? What the hell? What's Microsoft doing? I'm sitting there going, really? So Sony posting the wrong gameplay is okay, which I am fine with. But if someone comments on it that works for the corporation in question, that's bad. That's bad news media, and that's improper, and it's feeding the console war. Please get over yourselves.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were more upset with what Aaron Greenberg did than the whole fiasco to begin with. I'm like, Jesus, you cannot win doing anything in this gaming community.
The thing is with Aaron Greenberg is what people don't understand is his literal job at Microsoft is to hype up the Xbox console.
Yep.
That's literally his job. And what people don't seem to understand is, yeah, you're going to come across a little fanboyish if you're hyping up your console. It's literally his job to promote Xbox 24/7. Oh, but he interacts with all the bad parts of the Xbox community. Yeah, because even if you don't like specific people's opinion in a community, they're still part of the community as a whole. They still buy your products. They still buy your games. You may not like all of their opinions. You may not agree with them, but they're part of the community.
Yeah, that's factual.
That's true.
That is factual. Like I said, I still, a lot of this is still laughable at the person who sit there and play pause. That's you have no life. It just shows that this console war means most to too many people. The console war means more than actually gaming to way too many people to actually find this.
I mean,
the needle in a haystack.
I agree 100% what you're saying. I mean, I was a kid when it was Sega versus Nintendo back in the 90s. I never remember the console war being as petty then as it is now.
That's the internet for you.
I think what helps that little aspect is the internet. We didn't have the internet back then.
Like I said, the thing is, like Undead said, most games, most trailers you see or gameplay are running on PC, so none the wiser, right? I think the fact that this particular gameplay was running on Xbox, if it wasn't for that, people won't get up. The fact that it was actually running on an Xbox ownership, like, you know what? Nah, fam, we good. We basically showing off what the Xbox One X can do. We good, G. You can hold that, EA. We don't want it.
And all of this over a game that looks like a slightly better version of Destiny.
All this over a game that probably isn't going to hit till 2019, realistically.
Yeah.
it's a concept trailer. I mean, they may call it gameplay, but we know what it is. It's
in-engine footage.
Yeah.
It's in-engine footage.
When it has that level of scripted dialogue, this isn't a game.
No, exactly.
No way.
Yeah,
Like Metro was extremely scripted. Jesus. You can't tell me that wasn't scripted.
No, I know. I mean like the dialogue between the people. There was literally a script going, "Hey, we need to wait for Kim. We can't go in there. He hasn't got the XP."
Oh yeah, true.
That's what I mean.
Well, I know what you meant, but I mean, like I said, it's ultimately such a non-issue. It pisses me off, and well, I'd rather it doesn't piss me off. Rather, the reaction people have to it pisses me off. It's like, come on.
We have done better than this, but
Yeah.
By the way,
So real quick, Mike, you brought up something in particular I thought was interesting. This has been an immortal argument we've gone through, but I think everybody's opinion changes a little bit over time. You were talking about something going on about these Crash Bandicoot reviews, and should you have to complete a game to review it?
All right. So there was a review that was published by, am I allowed to say the outlet?
Yeah, sure, the outlet.
All right. So there was a review that was published by, I believe it was GameSpot, for Crash Bandicoot. And I believe, I don't remember what the exact score was, but it got like a fair, whatever number score that equates to. And in the description, like at the end where it's talking about the author, it says, this author played to the halfway point of each game. So he played halfway through Crash 1, halfway through Crash 2, and halfway through Crash 3. Now, my thing is, if you're playing a story-based game, if you're playing a single-player game like that, at bare minimum, in my opinion, before you review that game, you have to finish the campaign. Nobody's saying you have to 100% or break every crate in the game or anything like that or get the platinum. All you have to do is finish the story in each game in order to review it, because I don't understand how you can review a game without at least beating the campaign first, at the bare minimum.
I would say it absolutely depends on the game. And considering this is a remaster of a bunch of different games, it's 3, right?
It's 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, so you would have to play through 3 games to do this, when we all know we don't have a lot of time anyway, and if we were professionally doing this, we would have even less time because we would have to be playing games constantly. So to play 3 whole games for 1 review does sound like an awful lot. And if they play half of every one, that's a game. That's 1.5 games. I know this isn't exactly the best way of looking at it. But
Real quick, some of the confirmed play times, they're saying that to complete all 3 games, it takes about 14 hours.
Seems about right, because from what I remember, the Crash games were not terribly long games, so it seems about right.
There's dudes I got on Twitter that almost have all the plats for all 3 games now, and their play times are just around 20 hours. So that would be with replaying levels and everything else. But if you sucked at the game and you got stuck halfway through, it might take longer for you to complete. Just saying.
yeah, and not games journalists. We know about games. We're not all the best players of games.
This is true as well. Like, I can't review platformers because I suck at platformers. I can't give a good, honest review on a platformer because I'm garbage at them.
that's like me with fighters. I suck at fighters.
Oh,
Exactly.
preach.
Same here.
Preach,
So,
fam.
You mentioned 14 hours. That is, I think that's just over the length of Uncharted 4's runtime for the story, if you really try and run through it. And I do agree with Mike. If it's a massive story game like Uncharted or a walking simulator like that, absolutely you have to complete it. Crash, it's all really about gameplay. And considering it's a remaster, and this person may have already played that game originally, there's that to consider as well.
I kind of sit on the fence about what's enough to review a game. I think if a game is going to be good, to like fair to good or even great, you got to finish the campaign, because you never, like, if you stop halfway, hey, I don't know if the rest of the game is good or not, but I'm going to render a verdict, and that could go either way. Like a good example, Metal Gear Solid 5. Finished Chapter 1, and Chapter 1's pretty damn good. 2, and it's garbage. Horrible. Kojima making a game like this. It's that bad. Like, it lowered the score for me. When I played Metal Gear Solid 5, I was sitting like maybe at 8. Like, this is a fun game. And then Chapter 2 hits. I'm like, this is that bad. This is the laziest development to just pad time. It's pointless doing this.
There's a conversion.
And it was stuff like that. I was like, you can't possibly work. And
Right.
like I said, you have that option now. There are some things, if you're not beating it. Like, if it's a bad game, a genuinely bad game, you should not be required to have to complete that shit. It's like, if it's broken and like it's just horrible, you shouldn't have to complete it. Because it's not Deadlight.
Homefront.
No, not Homefront. What was that one that came out earlier this year? I think. It was the most generic name I've ever heard. It was that one where the studio was trying to sue all the reviewers. Who was it?
Was it Digital Homicide with Sterling?
No, not Jim Sterling. I cannot remember.
Well, if it's a generic name, there's no way we could remember it.
Yeah.
Good point.
Dead something. I mean, how much more generic can you get?
Was it called John Smith Simulator? That's pretty generic.
I know the game you're talking about. See, I sit on the fence because, like, I was sitting down because I'm starting to write out reviews and stuff for my channel, and I wanted to figure out, before I even got started, I wanted to start what my rules and guidelines for what my personal reviews are. I don't work for IGN or anything, so these, like, I want to know what I get out of a review and what I expect a reviewer to do in order to give me an honest opinion on a game. Personally, I'd like to see, when someone reviews a game, I like to see that they finish the campaign, if they're talking about the campaign, because as Anchorman said, there are some games that if you don't play till the end, you don't know how bad they are. An example is, I'm not sure if anyone remembers a 360 game called Rage.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember it. I didn't play it.
It was a good game, but the ending was so bad, it literally took the game from like a 7 to a 4. Is how bad the ending was.
But then you have to then you inevitably have to face the thing of open world games. So Mike and I had briefly talked about GTA before this, But then I thought about something just now. I really enjoy that Mad Max game. Every now and then I go back to it and do stuff. I haven't finished it. I haven't finished the campaign, but I know I really enjoy it.
I'd see that's the thing though. Is like if we're talking about someone halfway playing through, say, I don't know, Skyrim or Legends of Zelda or some massive RPG like Persona, for example, would be a good example of a game that takes, I think, even the people that are good at it, takes
like 100 hours.
100 plus hours to complete. I don't expect a reviewer to 100% that. I expect them to give enough input on what the gameplay is like, what the grind is like, and that kind of thing. Like, 20 hours or 15 to like even 10 to 20 hours in an open world game gives you a vibe for what the whole game is going to be about. Because most open world games, they introduce you to everything for the first, I'm going to say 8 hours is where they introduce all the different things you're going to be doing. And then the next however many hours is you doing all those things to reach an end goal. So for something like that, I could see them stating, we only got this far. This is a review up to this point. But we're talking about a platformer game. platformers are kind of the same thing. Like, I don't think anyone's ever played a platformer. Me personally, I've never played a platform because the story was so good I had to see the end.
Inside. Well, for some people liked Inside. I didn't, but
I wasn't a fan either.
It was a fun little twist at the end. I was like, what?
But I don't know. It's a hard area to like dictate where it goes from being a review. See, I have a very slim area where I call it's not a review, it's an impressions.
Yeah, that's kind of how like I feel too.
Like, that's where I draw the line. Like, if I buy a game, say I bought Crash Bandicoot the night it came out, if I did a video on it the next day, I wouldn't title it a review. I would title it an impressions video because I haven't played all the games to their entirety to say it's a review. I feel like review should encompass all aspects of the game.
It's true because if you're playing through the game and you stop at the halfway point, how do you know there's not game-breaking bugs halfway through the game? And the example that I always use for this, not with game-breaking bugs, just like you have to finish the campaign at least. This is to a lesser extent than your guys' examples, is Arkham Asylum. Because when I was playing Arkham Asylum, that game was a solid 10 out of 10 for me until the Killer Croc section. The Killer Croc section was such a slog. And yeah, I thought that Killer Croc section was terrible. And the last Joker fight wasn't the best either, so I had to knock it down to a 9.
I will give you the Joker fight, but I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the Killer Croc bit.
I hated the Killer Croc bit. I finished that game, was like, I can't give this a 10. I got to knock a point off for that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, for me, by the way, the game I was thinking was called Dead Effect.
Oh, like, yeah!
Like, Dead in Effect.
It's like they took Dead Space and Mass Effect and went, now Kith.
Oh, man. So what I normally do is I have a series I run on the side. I need to start picking it up again. I have a couple scripts ready to go. I do a Should You Buy series. Ooh, basically, I don't do review. I do impressions. What I do is I will sit down and say, all right, I look at the game. I either need to complete 50% of the game or 10 hours, whichever comes first. If a game is not interesting in 10 hours, it's not going to get any better. Chances are it's not going to get any better. And through something that long, mainly because of Witcher 3. Because when I started playing Witcher, I was like, what is this? I don't get this. And then it took me about, I think it was like 5 to 8 hours to get out of like the base area because I was trying to do a bunch of stuff. And then I moved over, and when I got to Velen, and then it was like everything clicked. And I was like, oh my God, 10 hours was like, that was enough to get a good view of the game, of its mechanics and everything and how it works and the story, or 50%. Like, not every game's gonna be 10 hours long. So, like, you're at least getting it just you're not going out there to say, hey, this is what it's definitely gonna be. And I don't do the whole point system. Give it like a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. I do it by price because I still think something changes your opinion on it. Because if you pay full price for like the Thief, here's an example. Thief, you probably. But if you're on the Ultimate Game Sale right now and you spent $5 on Thief, you're like, hey, I'm willing to overlook some stuff. I had a good time. The Order 1886, I paid like $8. I paid $8 for the Order 1886. Love it. Be a little pissed. I mean, that's why I do it based on price. So what I think, and $60 being like full price. Games I've played and I've reviewed and I've said, hey, I'll review and I'll play a game, and I think it's above that price. Like, I think I gave it to New Vegas. I said New Vegas is worth $80. The replayability is just excellent. So And that's what I normally do. And you guys can do whatever you want, but
I like that way. I think more people should do that. That sounds cool.
Actually, I've bought a couple of games because of that series, actually. Because for the most part, me and Anchorman have similar tastes. An example, I'm having fun in Darksiders, even though I said I was never going to play that game.
Hey,
Still having a good time.
I just want to say big shout out to Path of Exile. Anybody planning on playing that?
Yes, sir.
Am I playing that game?
Day one.
Path of Exile. This is the first time I've heard about it.
What?
No, lies.
Oh,
Lies and propaganda, sir.
Let me take
familiar, but remind us what it is.
Oh, go ahead, sir. I just asked about it.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you if you can remind us about it.
Why are you asking me? I'm asking y'all.
Because you said it is. Oh, it's Magic the Gathering.
I'm fulfilling a request, sir. That's why I asked.
And I am fulfilling it, and I'm telling you, Path to Exile. We've been asked to shout it out. It is a Magic the Gathering card.
Oh, it's a card game.
No, it's one card in Magic the Gathering.
Jeez. Guys being so literalists.
Can I just okay?
Name before, but I don't know what
It's
it's
the game that's coming to Xbox One. It's on PC. It's like a Diablo style grindy game, and it's like $15.
Oh,
It's
sounds
like
just like you, Nick.
Oh, that's Path of Exile. I googled Path to Exile.
Jesus Christ!
Damn it, James.
It's late. You get a pass, James.
That's oh yeah, it's a game.
Top downs.
It's got like a 9 out of 10 on Steam.
I got a question to the Mac of all 010. Why are you excited about it? So, what about this game? You know, what about it that makes you want us to shout this out about this game? Like, let us know in the comment section. What about this game that has you most excited?
Oh, never mind. It's free to play. It's not $15. It's free to play. That's what the big deal was. It's free to play.
What?
With only cosmetic microtransactions. It's not pay to win. It's free to play. Microtransactions are all cosmetic. This is Jez Gordon was talking about this game. That's where I remember seeing
When does it come out?
That's how you do free to play.
It comes out on Xbox. Try to find a release date. Let's try this.
While he finds that, I was talking about Magic the Gathering. I remind me, I played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time last week.
Oh yeah,
It's great. I love it.
all my friends have been getting into that all of a sudden. I'm really surprised.
I have no idea why it's taken me 20 years to find it.
Okay, so reviewers have had hands-on, like major sources have had hands-on with Path of Exile in early 2017. It's supposed to be coming late 2017. So it sounds like a fall release, maybe?
And this is a console launch exclusive.
Oh, God. Console launch exclusive.
Hey, by the way, speaking of console launch exclusives, Ghost of a Tale finally hit preview. For I think it was 2014, 2015 E3.
I don't even remember that.
I don't even know what that is.
It's you remember the Moss game that PlayStation showed off this year?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
this is
so
before that.
I got a question while we're on console launch exclusives. So we all know that was a big deal at E3. People trying to figure out where people say, "Oh, console launch exclusive just means time exclusive." Okay, so y'all been on Xbox. You go on the store. There's a section that says console launch exclusives. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
Yep.
In that section, there's Gears of War 4, Halo 5, Forza Horizon 3. None of those games are coming to PlayStation. So
No, confirm. Gears of War coming to PlayStation.
So that's what I was saying. When they said console launch exclusive, does not necessarily mean time exclusive. Because if that's the case, that means Halo 5, Gears of War 4, and Forza Horizon 3 and Voodoo Events are all coming to PlayStation. So console launch exclusive does not necessarily mean time exclusive. Will some go? Yes. But there's a great handful of games that were shown that would not be coming to PlayStation. I just want to point that out because I put it on Twitter today, and yeah.
It's all misdirection. Microsoft.
Yeah. Here's a great question in the chat from Victor. Here's a question. Do you think Turn 10 would be a good studio to do a remake or sequel to Crimson Skies? I think they'd be an awesome studio to do that. They already make the best racing games on console, so I don't see why they couldn't do Crimson Skies well. That's actually a really good idea.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice for Turn 10 Coalition 343 to make another game. Period.
I think they should have a crack at each other's games. So Turn 10 make a Gears of War game.
No.
343 Gears of War kart racing. I'll meet you in the middle.
If you tell me anything, let the Coalition make a third-person Halo game.
Yes.
Then I'm like, all right, I'm interested now. A third-person Halo game.
Actually, that'd be really fun.
If they really want to do something with Spartan Lock, let Spartan Lock have a third-person game.
Who would have thought that there'd be so many hip high things in space?
No, seriously.
I was looking for walls.
Everybody has to switch their genres around, and so like, okay, Gears of War has to
be a game. I'll say
Gears of War has to be a racing game, and Halo has to be a third-person shooter, and Forza has to be a first-person shooter.
Well, that would be easy because you could turn Forza into Twisted Metal.
I was about to say that
kind of game.
I was about to say that.
That'd actually be pretty dope. Licensed cars shooting.
See, what I want is Microsoft come at Gamescom and be like, well, we're gonna do Halo 6, but it's gonna be like the original Mass Effect was. It's gonna have a comprehensive story. You can fly to different planets. I want all that shiz. I want that to be a Halo game. I don't want a linear walk through Halo anymore. They need to do something different. I would love 343 if they have to make Halo, do something completely off the wall different.
That's what I said. If they really want to do something with Locke, let Locke have a third-person perspective series, whatever case may be. And at the same time, I think some of the best news we've heard from Microsoft since E3 was the fact that they came out and said Gamescom would not be a repeat of E3. They're going to show different things from what they showed at E3, which I think is freaking amazing.
Good. I hope they're not trash.
Also, Fame, in response to your question to the Macavall 010 about Path of Exile, he says it has to be one of the most comprehensive skill trees ever created. It looks to be what Diablo wishes it could be.
Oh, okay. Because everybody and their mama playing Diablo right now.
Yep,
I've never played Diablo.
Well, all righty. I'll definitely have my eye out for it. Especially with it being free.
Free, always.
We can get a multiverse mixer, multi-stream going of it. I don't see why not.
Yeah, you will play Path of Exile, and I'll exclusively play Magic the Gathering only using Path to Exile as a card.
That works.
That's all I'll do. Yeah. Before we move on to our final topic, should we do a one-word answer of our game of the year so far, considering we are at the halfway point of the year?
What if the game has 3 words in the title?
Okay, so it's we just say the title and then we move on.
Everybody here picks one game.
All right.
Your game
and then move on.
What, Fame? You go first, Fame.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
All right. James?
Resident Evil 7.
Ooh.
Resident Evil 7.
Nick?
Why you put me on the spot like this?
Put you last.
It has to have launched this year, right?
Yes.
God damn it.
Were you going to say Tetris?
Oh, Tetris.
Under your head, pick one.
Off the top of my head, I'm gonna have to say Horizon Zero Dawn is probably one of the best.
ID.
Wait. We have a tiebreaker. Unless he says Fallout for some reason.
No, it's not
Fallout 4. No, Skyrim VR. Skyrim VR. I changed my mind. It's Skyrim VR.
No, keep in mind, I have played Legend of Zelda. I've played Horizon Zero Dawn. I've played tons of other games. The only one which I haven't played is Resident Evil 7 yet.
Oh my god.
None of those.
I already know what it is.
The Snake Pass.
Snake Pass, here, man. And before you go out there saying I'm crazy, I am. I think
This
it's
has
like
been
12
episode
bucks.
59 of the Multiverse Show. You guys have a great one. It's been great rocking with y'all. And
No, I'm not even kidding. It really is that good. It's so solid. And the mechanics are novel. It's enjoyable. It requires you to think. It's a platformer that has not been done before.
Like ours. You don't get to do that with yours.
we said one word. We said the name of the game and move on, sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I can do what I want.
We didn't ask for all that extra. You over here showing your privilege, sir.
Oh boy, that damn Snake Pass privilege.
There's some type of pass. I don't know about Snake.
And in a related plug, Snake Pass is $14.99 on the Xbox One store, and it won't sell until it goes to $6.99. All right, that's the Multiverse Show. I hope you guys all had a great time.
All right. Things up officially. Do some outros. Start with you, James.
Wait, are we not talking about Spider-Man? Oh, all right. Spider-Man's out, I'll say quickly, Spider-Man's out tomorrow in the UK, and I'm very excited. Outros, you can come talk to me at James_S Wilson on Twitter about Baby Driver, about Radiohead's new music, the Radiohead set at Glastonbury. Just talk to me about Radiohead. I'm very lonely. Yeah, bye.
All right. Bane?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug Spider-Man too, because Spider-Man is gonna be absolutely freaking amazing, and I cannot wait to watch it Saturday. It's gonna be amazing. But I am Fame Entertainment from TICGN.com. Thanks for rocking with us. Thanks for joining episode 59 of the Multiverse Show. Do not forget, Wednesday will be another episode of the Double XP podcast. I do have 2 special guests on, and it will be an amazing show. We be cussing and stuff, but come rock with us. Peace out, y'all.
All right. Mike?
You know, it was funny. I was thinking about the whole console launch exclusive thing. You know, Microsoft owns like Rare and Killer Instinct. Why did they just do console launch exclusive?
Someone get this man a job in Microsoft's marketing PR.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's Mike for the Inner Circle. Check me out on the website, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. And yeah, have a great night. Happy 4th of July, everybody in America.
I was about to say that as well. It's 4th of July here in the UK, which for us, it's the day we lost America.
You lose.
Brie Exit, 1776 edition.
Did you just say Brexit?
Right.
It's Brexit. How'd you get that wrong?
Brie Exit.
Because he's Canadian.
Because I'm Canadian, man.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
there's
move on.
only one E.
All right, Nick. Tell everybody about your little your gamer score charity run.
Oh yeah. So if anyone follows me on Twitter, which none of you do because you guys are all okay. I'm not talking about you guys.
Okay.
You're fine. I'm doing a charity run score, and right now I'm sitting at 3,400. That's with only about, I think I only got a couple hours in on the weekend. So the goal is 25,000. So for every 1,000 gamer score I rock up, it's going to be $10 donated to Operation Supply Drop. The goal is $250, which is basically enough for them to hopefully be able to give a console to a veteran or whatever they choose to do with it. So yeah, I'm doing that. If you want to follow me for updates on that, you can follow me at Undead3XVal. You want to tweet me your gaming opinions and have me tell you you're wrong, you can also follow me. And that's all.
All right. And you guys know who I am, Anchorman V2. You can find me on Twitter, Xbox, Mixer, PlayStation, probably on Steam somewhere. Everywhere else in existence, you can find me somewhere. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for showing up to episode 59 of the Multiverse Show, the greatest show on Mondays. And we will see you guys later.
Yeah, buddy.